The woman went on dates with her first love every day, but she lied to her boyfriend saying she was at work. Little did she know, her boyfriend was watching them from the balcony upstairs, but he didn't go up to stop them. Instead, he let them continue their flirting, waiting for the day they would fall into his trap. But the woman used the man's identity as a CEO to pretend to be a rich heiress in front of her first love. She even claimed that the man was her father. When her first love asked to visit her home and meet her father, she lied, saying it wasn't the right time yet. But what she didn't know was, right after she went on a business trip, her first love went to her house pretending to be her boyfriend and happened to meet the CEO who had just returned from work. While the man was still confused about the situation, he heard the first love call him uncle, claiming that he was the woman's father. The man froze on the spot when he heard that, realizing that the first love had misunderstood who he was, but he didn't expose the truth right away. Instead, he decided to use the misunderstanding to carry out his own plan. Watching the first love's hypocritical behavior, the man didn't scold him. Instead, he told him that he would prepare a wedding for the two of them. Hearing this, the first love thought his plan of pretending to be rich had succeeded, and that in the father's eyes, he was already the best choice to marry his daughter. That made him feel proud immediately, and he said he wanted to see the family's mansion. After hearing this, the man agreed right away and promised that after he married his daughter, he would give the mansion to them as a wedding gift. After hearing that, the first love felt a rush of joy. He thought the mansion was already his, and quickly began inspecting its layout, unaware that he had already fallen into the man's trap. Seeing such a luxurious mansion and its expensive antique decorations, the first love directly suggested that he wanted to live there, claiming it was to keep the man company, but in reality, he just wanted to show off to his friends. The man knew exactly what he was after, but still agreed to his request and said he could stay for a few more days. He even told the butler to arrange a room for him, but what he didn't expect was that the first love had his eyes on his own bedroom, seeing the photos of the CEO and the woman in the room. The butler worried the truth would be discovered, so he quickly covered the photos and told him he couldn't stay in that room, but his actions were met with the first love's criticism. He said the butler was just a servant and that he would soon be the master of the house if he dared to lecture him again. Once he married the woman, he would fire the butler himself, seeing the photos hidden under the butler's hand. The first love began to feel suspicious and immediately pushed the butler's hand away. Just as he was about to see the photos, the man appeared in the room. After hearing what had happened, the man didn't blame him. He even told the butler to clean the room thoroughly. In reality, it was to erase all evidence that connected him to the woman. But the first love thought this meant the man valued him highly. He immediately expressed his gratitude. But what made him even happier was the man even allowed him to change the way he addressed him, understanding the man's intention. He immediately called the man father. Hearing that, the man became even more satisfied, because he had already prepared more torment for the first love. So early the next morning, the man took out a plan he had specially designed for the first love, saying that it listed all the requirements to become his daughter's husband. Looking at the 20-page list of family rules in his hands, the first love stood frozen on the spot, because the rules covered everything from posture standards to using his own money to acquire a bankrupt company and ensuring that the company earned over $1 million in profit within a year. But before he could say anything, the man said these were all the qualifications to inherit his company in the future. If he completed them all, he could quickly fit into high society. Otherwise, even if he agreed to the marriage, the other family elders would never approve. The man's words made the doubtful first love agree right away, and he vowed that he could do it. From that day on, the first love began learning etiquette from the butler. Whenever he failed to do something right, the butler would discipline him, and the man watched them from the side. Whenever the first love wanted to give up, the man would show him something even more luxurious to motivate him to keep going. Just when the first love thought he had learned enough, the butler took him to an underground boxing gym, saying that as the young lady's husband, he must train there for 3 months. until he defeated a professional fighter. The first love wanted to refuse, but to gain all the man's wealth. He had no choice but to agree. Meanwhile, the man had already obtained all the information about the first love, as well as all the evidence of his girlfriend's infidelity, and secretly decided to make them pay the price. So the next day, the man brought the first love back from the boxing gym. Seeing him covered in bruises and still complaining non-stop, the man angrily scolded him and warned him to pass all the tests soon, or he would find another boyfriend for his daughter to motivate him further. The man told him he wanted to meet his parents, thinking of his greedy parents. The first love wanted to refuse, but to gain that fortune, he still agreed, deciding to hold a banquet for his father 3 days later and invited the man to attend. Soon, the day of the banquet arrived. The first love treated all the assets the man promised him as if they already belonged to him and proudly told all his relatives about it. While everyone looked at him with envy, a pregnant and unattractive woman suddenly appeared before everyone, claiming that she was pregnant with the first love's child and that he was using her money to marry someone else.